Hi everyone, and welcome to the first town hall of 2022. I hope you all had a restful and happy Christmas and New Year, and we wish you a happy and healthy year ahead. First up, we are going to hear from the People Ops team, and over to you, Ricardo, to give us an update for People Ops.
Great, thanks, Terry. Hello, everyone. Yeah, we got a fair bit of news in People Ops. One of them me being on board, and in terms of the projects, so we start here from ongoing project. Of course, we start with the bank because it's the project everybody wants to hear about. Is the offside, and we're actively working on it. So we're also, I would say, quite far ahead in the planning. The main issue, as you know, is the current Omicron situation. So, as I've said multiple times on Discord, on Discuss, just bear with us for a little bit longer, and we're hoping to be able to announce something relatively soon. But that would likely take place somewhere around Q2. Another big project is compensation benchmark. So there's some calibration of seniority level, S&T, and this involves finance, legal, and the team leads all working to have compensation framework that's fair, that's solid, that hopefully keeps everybody engaged and happy. Another project is performance feedback system. Definitely, we're looking to give contributors opportunities to receive and give feedback in a more structured way, in a more regular way. That definitely helps engagement. And currently, we're analyzing the different platforms to be able to do that better than our current capabilities. And again, it's a big Q1 project, and we hope to come back with something that helps the whole organization. Also, other things are coming or resuming soon. The handbook that has been discussed before, Learn Ups, which you are aware of, and there will be more coming. Improving the offboarding experience and workflow. And also we'll be looking at the engagement survey results to implement actions to improve, especially peer relationships and opportunities to connect and make friends. Latest achievement, setting up 20 core contributors in December, January. So we got a lot of new faces coming on board. So thanks to the talent team and Terry for that. Partnering with legal for some internal audits, which are important, and improving our Bamboo HR onboarding experience, which seems to get some positive feedback from new joiners. Now, on to the next slide. Here are some of our engagement metrics. So you can see the whole discussion of our latest engagement survey. It's on Discuss. There's an entire post there, but just some of the highlights for the sake of this presentation. So we scored 8.8. We're +1 compared to last quarter. So fairly impressive, 0.8 above the technology benchmark. So happy to see everybody's fairly engaged. Our strengths here are organizational fit, mission, and fairness. These are the areas where we don't necessarily score the highest numbers, because we have others like autonomy, where we have like a 9.7, but they're the ones where we most significantly beat the benchmark of other technology companies. And as we mentioned before, one area that we need to work on is obviously improving in terms of opportunities to make friends and peer relationship. We work entirely remotely. We did not have a chance to go on the offsite, and this definitely had an impact. But we hope to turn that around and make the offsite happen and come up with other ideas to keep those nice connections and friendships ongoing in a remote environment as well. Next one. Again, some more insights. Some of the highlights are definitely the organizational fit that people perceive as being strong, the engagement with the mission of status, and also management support has received quite a positive feedback. So good job to the team leads and everybody, making people feel like they're being supported in their job. We spoke about the area of improvement. Some of the more open-ended comments they commended things like freedom of opinions, the management support. Also, the new team member onboardings had positive things to say about the onboarding. Now, pay structure, which is something we're looking at, received some of the comments about people not being clear whether it was transparent, fair, or pretty much it was more about not being clear on how it's structured. So hopefully that'll be addressed soon. And for the whole end, for the offsite, as I mentioned before, the target is within the first half of Q2, but hopefully with more specific updates coming up in the next maybe weeks. Up next. Now, we have a very engaged, this is probably an interesting piece of metric because we have a very engaged workforce, contributors, but at the same time, we have a very high turnover. Now, obviously, this needs to be put in perspective. The organization is, we're not many contributors. So, of course, even 5 more people leaving can significantly impact the number. So it can be quite volatile. Also, we know that, the space Web3 where we operate, it's very much happening. So people may move around more than in other spaces. Having said all of that, on the positive side, we don't have to let go of many people, just 15% of these people moving. So we don't make many hiring mistakes. On the flip side, yeah, some people tend to leave. It's been going better over the years, but definitely this is something that the whole organization, not just people ops, but team leads and everybody, we will constantly looking for ways to improve, even by 1 point or 2. It's important, and it's also very expensive to hire in the space. So it's definitely a metric that we'll keep looking closely to. And finally, last but not least, on the people ops side, we have to celebrate some anniversaries. So we have a congratulations to Roman, Zachary, Hester, Vitali, and Pepper for being with Status, contributing with Status for a number of years. So congrats to those, and welcome to Pablo, Marco, Patrick, Noelia, Alicia, Pedro, David, Daniel, another Daniel, and Katia for starting working together as new contributors. So good luck and congrats on coming on board. And I guess now I'll hand it over to the talent team, or I'll hand it over back to Terry.
Thanks, Ricardo. Thanks for that update from the people ops side. I'm now going to hand you over to Angel to give you an update from the talent team. So over to you, Angel.
Hey, happy new year. So yeah, we had a really good year last year. We hired a lot of people. 37 of those started last year. From all those 6 were referrals. So I want to say massive thank you to everyone. Referrals really helped me and the team, and they just make our lives so much easier. So we had Katia joined the team, which was fantastic. A little bit of extra help. So now there's 3 of us here. So if you see her online, just say hello to her. That would be great. We've also got a busy year ahead of us. We're going to double the team size. So we're currently sitting around 100, and we want to bump it up to 200. So again, referrals, that would be really, really great. So everyone's really good at that. So keep it up, guys. And yeah, the referral bonus is around 5,000 USD of SNT's worth. Next slide. Cool. And then lastly, we've got some a few hiring updates in terms of the roles that we're really focusing on. So we've got a head of marketing for the Status Network. We've got a test automation engineer for desktop, a protocol engineer and blockchain engineer for VAC. I'm looking for a Clojure UI developer for mobile. So referrals for that would be great because it's a small market. And then for Codex, we're looking for a research engineer and also lib peer-to-peer network engineer. Next slide. And yeah, again, like the meme says, help me. If you have any referrals, feel free just to ping them to the team or referrals@status.im. So it's either myself, Pepper, or Katia. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, Angel. Much appreciated. Next up, we're going to hear from Pablo from the legal team. So over to you, Pablo.
Thank you, Terry. Hi, team. Hope you're having a great start this year. We want to share some updates from legal. First of all, we would like you to know that we are working with PeopleOps to update our internal privacy policy. So stay tuned. You will be receiving some updates very soon. Also, it's important. Agatha and myself created the Ask Legal channel on Discord. So please feel free to send your questions or queries to us. We will be pleased to help you. Also, you can ping us directly, but there's the channel. Next slide, please. Thank you. We also can your help for two very important things. The first of all, please share with us the agreements that are active from any provider you are working with. It is very important to us as we are improving our contract management system. And also, please take a couple of minutes to review and update all your profile in Bamboo. Sorry. It's very important to have up to date your entity name, your address, Discord alias, and so on. So that's it from legal. Thanks, folks, and have a great week. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Pablo. Much appreciated. Next up, we're going to hear from Andrea from Mobile. So over to you.
Thank you, Terry. So last week we were working mostly on the release, like it was release 1.18. It has been a bit delayed because of the holiday season, and we had a few hiccups with the Play Store because we weren't able to log into the app because they thought that we should provide credentials. Different credentials was needed, so they rejected our application. We sent it back, just the same, and they approved it now. So it has been released today to the Beta Play Store. So we'll leave it to the Beta Play Store probably, I'd say, a week, just to make sure that everything is fine, and then we'll promote it as usual to the main Play Store on F-Droid and iOS. Next, we're going to keep working on communities. We're going to be adding swap support in the app, and we keep working on improved syncing. We are adding more items to backup through Wacom. Wallet Connect 2 integration is still ongoing. We'll be looking as well at supporting Wallet Connect 1, since they're very similar to the UI, and a lot of dApps haven't quite migrated yet to Wallet Connect 1. And also we're working on offering our user the possibility to use remote Android authentication in the same way that they do on iOS, not as a replacement of the current authentication system, but as an option. That I'm not sure is going to make it to the next release, but maybe we shall see. And that's all for mobile. Back to you, Thai. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that update. Next up, we are going to hear from Alec, who's going to give us an update on all growth and retention. So over to you and your lovely graphs, Alec.
Thank you, Terry. Hello, everyone. Like always, let's start with app installs. So we ended last year with almost 2,230,000 app installs. That's around 6,100 per day. And January last year was our best month in terms of the number of app installs, with nearly 300,000 and a little over 9,500 app installs per day. In May, as you may see, we paused all our campaigns and decided to optimize the installation cost. We just wanted to save resources, and practically we cut the cost, the installation cost, in half in the following months. In October, similarly to what happened the year before, our campaigns got severely restricted by Google, which then and now is our main source of new users, mainly due to relatively low costs and high reach, like incomparable with anything else. Maybe Facebook, but I'm not sure. No other traffic source can get near, so we just stick to Google, and any change to those campaigns affect our numbers a lot. So although it seems that we may want to reconsider the idea of diversifying our acquisition, even at the expense of higher costs, especially now since in January, as you can see, after a relatively good December, our campaigns are getting limited again. We were told by Google support that this will end, and in December I thought it ended those restrictions. So January is a surprise. So far, we are getting around 2.6 thousand app installs per day, so less than a half than on average last year, and this is not enough to compensate for the users' churn, which is something we'll see more clearly on the next slide. So on October 6th last year, we reached 640,000 Google Play users with the app installed. Unfortunately, right now we are below 550,000 due to the acquisition that I mentioned, and due to the differences in the retention across different markets. So both those topics I will cover later this month on Discuss. But for now, let's just take a look at those markets on the next slide. So over 7% of our users come from Mali, a market that surprised us with higher conversion rate and pretty good retention several times last year. Like Mali showed up in our reports multiple times. A bit lower, we have Brazil. This is one of the markets we are most active on. Then we've got Tanzania with great retention, Colombia, Algeria, the Philippines, Nigeria, and so on. So the number of countries we are present in doesn't really change that much. We've got users from all over the world. This doesn't really change. Only the percentages change a bit, as you can see. So let's move to the next slide. So these are daily active users according to Google Play, which does not include desktop users or Apple users, which are still in minority. So this is a pretty good representation of our daily active users. So we had 12,000 daily active Google Play users last year, despite Q4 acquisition issues. Today we are a little above 8,000. What you may find interesting is that the highest average for the daily active users wasn't in January, the month with the highest number of app installs, nor was it in October, which was the month with the highest number of users in general. The highest average for the daily active users was in July, which is another topic I will mention on Discuss and explain why that was. Now let's move on to the peers on the next slide. So we had 3,270 peers per day last year. Right now, it's closer to 2,300. This will increase over time with the intensified acquisition, although not as quickly as daily active users will. The reason is it's easier to make people open the app once they install it, than to which increments daily active users, than to make them open the app and then log in, which gives us peers. Let's move to a quick summary on the next slide. So almost 2,230,000 app installs last year. This year so far we are at 37,000. So that's 6,100 daily per 2.6 thousand daily this year. We had 567,000 Google Play users at the end of last year. Now it's closer to 548,000. So a small decrease still, unfortunately. This will change. There are around 8,000 daily active users right now in comparison to 12,000 daily active users last year. And we have 2,200 daily active peers versus 3,000, well, just 1,000 more, 3,200 daily active peers last year. So in summary, it's a slow and calm start before the takeoff later this year, which is something I wish all of us. Happy New Year, everyone. I think 2022 is going to be epic for Status. And that's all from me for today. Back to you, Terry.
Thank you so much for all those great stats, Alex. Really good to see those in in all the graphs that you've done. Next up, we are going to hear from Fred from security and Jacob from infrastructure. So over to you first, Fred.
Hey everyone. So first, what has been done, we had a big end of year cleanup of the bug bounty program. A lot of old report there and that we had to close. We also set up various things to reduce the number of low value bug bounty reports and to have like more signal over noise. Since we are growing a lot, we have a new personal security checklist for contributors that are joining. What we will also do as of now is that we'll have a touch point with the CC like 2 weeks after they're on board to make sure everything is fine and they understood everything about security. Also, the VAC team is going to start to use ProtonMail instead of Gmail, so that's part of our migration out of Google services. What's still ongoing and next, we have the setup of a new bug bounty provider, so that's ongoing. We're also finishing the bug bounty management procedure and policy. We're also working on the evolution of the threat modeling practice, also according to the new product organization. We have a new attack threat traceability matrix that is currently being made. And of course, last but not least, all the ongoing work on feature with the product team. That's it for me.
Thank you, Fred. Over to Jacob now.
Hey, people. We have a lot of changes in CI. We have new hosts of all kind. For example, we replaced Windows hosts with physical Hetzner machines, which does provide a boost in terms of build performance, but we have some issues with uploads, which are very slow, which as far as I can tell is due to Windows being just awful when single-threaded, and S3CMD we use is single-threaded, so just all of the performance gains are lost through that. I should fix that sometime this week, hopefully. We have the new Mac Mini hosts. We replaced the old Pro hosts, and they're faster and also cheaper. So that's nice. We also have 1M1 host with the new ARM CPU, but that's not fully utilized yet. We don't build mobile builds on that host yet because of some issues. There's a fix that we're waiting for in GNU Core Utils that once it's included in a release, then we'll start probably moving all of our builds to the M1 host for iOS, which should be much faster. We also finally upgrade well, we're preparing to upgrade. It's almost finished. Some of the CI hosts are upgraded, but we're switching to Nix 251. I still want some developers to test this locally, but it's pretty much done. That's great. There's a lot of work happening in terms of new websites, specifically for the VAC team. There's a lot of documentation sites and websites for the DAP Connect, or now I guess Waku Connect project. And there are various migrations to new domains and new examples for JS Waku. We also moved the job status IAM page to Greenhouse, or back to Greenhouse. It used to be there. We have completed the Node program and compiled some statistics on that. As far as I know, the people who had gained at least 50% availability have been rewarded, but I don't know about the other participants. We might do another Node program in the future. I know some people have been asking about it. We'll see. We have a fix for console for maintenance notifications, which will improve our ability to do changes on hosts without causing unnecessary alerts. But that still needs a bit of work, although it already works. Just needs tests. That's pretty much it. I'm finishing work on the VPN, Office VPN that we'll be using to access our internal services. When I mean internal services, I mean things like HackMD or Wacom boards or any BI systems. Right now, those are hidden behind OAuth. OAuth will stay, but I'm hoping to hide all of that within a VPN that you'll have to access through a client. It will most probably be zero tier. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jacob. Much appreciated. And thanks to Fred for your update from security. Next up, we are going to hear from Eduardo, who's going to give us an update from marketing and the community. Over to you, Eduardo.
Thank you, Terry. So marketing updates. First, our Waku Connect team lead, Frank Royer, will be speaking on the Web3 conference on 26th and 27th of January. He will present Waku and Waku Connect and show the many possibilities that dApps can take advantage of this amazing technology maintained by Status. Also, the Crypto Valley Venture Capital is producing the 7th version of their report containing the top 50 crypto companies of 2022. And Status is listed as one of those companies. So the report will be out in February on their website. Also, the hackathon for around 200 developers in Bogota, Colombia, is being planned for on the context of the Road to DevCon. Juan David, our Latin America community manager, is creating a team of collaborators and volunteers for this 3-day event, and he's leveraging the Ethereum Colombia meetups to include as much hackers as possible. The community of crypto artists in Latin America is still growing. And in the last few weeks, we have completed 5 applications from artists in Colombia, Mexico, and Brazil for the Super Rare grant we have partnered in order to increase applicants' diversity. Next slide, please. So in this next slide, I will be talking about our community updates, mainly ambassadors. A few numbers from ambassadors from December last year. We had 32 completed tasks, 14 ambassador applications in December, which 3 ambassadors of those 14 are already working on their first tasks. We had 15 blog post translations from different languages like Spanish, Portuguese, Turkish, and some others. 7 meetups and webinars since late November. We had ambassador meetups in Colombia, Uganda, India, Kenya, and also some other nice places. And regarding translations, ambassadors are helping a lot there. For the Status app, we had 15 contributors. They translated over 3,500 words. And for the Status website, they are also helping a lot with the translations. We have 10 contributors that translated more than 3,000 words. That's it. Thank you very much, Terry.
Thank you very much, Eduardo. I'd like to thank everyone for giving their updates and for anyone tuning in and listening. The next town hall is going to be on the 14th of February, and we look forward to hearing from you then. See you all. Have a great month.